I'm excited to have the first little topic here of the day, talking about really why this industry. How many of you guys are brand new, kind of just getting started here to the network marketing industry, or first go around? Congratulations, welcome. Happy to have you. I want to congratulate you and then also warn you that you're going to get a lot today. We're going to go all day long. It's going to be like drinking out of a fire hose. A lot of information. For sure. But I want to dive into a couple things here. First off, kind of starting off with my story and then why I'm here and kind of why I think a lot of us are here, and really talk about how to help a lot of other people inside of this industry. For me, my background was auto detailing when I was exposed to this industry for the first time. I was doing manual labor. Anybody know anybody that does manual labor for a living? So you know it's not the most prestigious thing ever. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to clean dirty cars. That's what I was doing. I had another part-time job because I wasn't making enough on Fridays and Saturdays of teaching at Miramar College. UC Miramar grads in the house? No. It's a junior college. It's not a UC school. So I was doing that. Funny because the way I got exposed to this industry was the way that a lot of us, I think what I found is most of us actually aren't looking for network marketing when it finds us. Right. For the most part, it wasn't like when I was a little kid growing up, I was like, someday when I grow up, I'm going to be a network marketer. that wasn't it. I was like, I want to be a fireman or a cop or something cool. I had done the things that most of us were taught on how to be successful growing up. Raise your hand if you had parents kind of like mine that said, if you want to be successful, you got to go to school and get really good grades. Because the better grades you get in school, that'll determine the better school you get into for college. And then obviously in college, you want to graduate as high as you can because the better degree you get, the better job you get. And the better job you get, the more money you make, and the more money you make, the better life you have. How many of you guys have found out that's not exactly true yet? And I think where a lot of us get exposed to this industry is because we've already tried that for an extended period of time, and it's just not working. And I don't need to spend much time selling you guys on that. If you just kind of look around, and has anybody ever commuted through traffic on Monday morning? Do people look fired up? Are they just jacked, like, man, I can't wait to get to it. They're like fighting through traffic because they're eager to get to work. You know what I mean? Like, come on, me first. So, like, that's just not the case. And I kind of find it's like, most people, it's like, I owe, it's off to work I go, right? And I heard the #1 killer in America is cardiovascular disease. It creates over 1,000 funerals a day, heart attacks. Guess when the #1 time of heart attacks are in our country? Between 7 and 9 a.m. on Monday morning. Like their heart's not exploding because they're like, man, no, it's almost here. Yeah, it's like, no, it's like, I'd rather die than go to work. Right? And actually, check this out. The average person doesn't even smile until 11:15 on Monday morning. That's a real statistic. Wednesday, we get a little bit excited though, right? Because it's hump day, right? We're halfway there, baby, right? Friday at 5:30, people are busting out of their job. Let's get out of jail. Like sprinting to their car, right? What do we do on Friday night? Party like crap on Saturday. What do you do on Saturday night? Same deal. Right? Sunday morning, you go to the church and repent for what you did at the club on Friday. And then Sunday, like at 6:30, this is for me. This was why I got into network marketing. Sunday at 6:30, I used to get this feeling about right here in my gut. That Sunday at 6:30 feeling. What is that? That here comes a Monday again. And how long do we do that for?
40 years.
Forever. Some of you guys have heard of the 40-40-40 plan, right? You work 40 hours a week for 40 years of your life to try to retire on 40% of what wasn't really getting you in the first place. And that was it, guys. For me, I started looking around society and I start hearing these numbers like the average American today, 95% of Americans can't actually retire at age 65 on their own means. They're dependent on what I call the 3 Fs. Their friends or family or the federal government. And you start looking at the fact, and if I can, for a second, just paint you a picture of the average American today, and this is something that's really good for your notes, because I want you to understand, outside of these walls, the average person, the average Joe, the average Jane, that's just kind of going through the Monday through Friday grind. I want you to understand, today, right now, the average American is working 53 hours a week. Right now. About 50, we're the hardest working society on the planet. Anybody know the least hardworking society? Italy, right? 17 hours a week is the average work week in Italy. So if network marketing doesn't work out, just move to Italy. You'd be all right. That's kind of my... You look at the fact that the average American today, no matter how many pay raises they get, always seem to have about $200 in their checking account. The average American today has over $14,000 now in credit card debt per household. The average household today is bringing about $43,000 a year, and it's taking 2.5 jobs to create that income, meaning both spouses are working and one of them's got a part-time job. The big things for me was you start looking at, okay, when I make it to my golden years, when I'm 65 and I'm trying to go retire, the average person today is living off of Social Security. Anybody know the average Social Security check? About $1,100 a month. Where can you live You mean here in America for $1,100 a month? TJ, Tijuana, right? Not America. Right? That was the money question for me. And here's the thing, guys. I was surfing one day in Del Mar, and I bumped into a friend of mine that I hadn't seen since high school. My buddy Anthony. I hadn't seen him in forever. And it was kind of one of those things like, we're pointing at each other like, is that you? Yeah. I was like, hey, man, how are you? Just kind of a normal, how's life? What have you been up to? Auto detailing. I was actually trying to recruit him to work for me from auto detailing company. And he was a part of this network marketing company. He's like, well, if you keep your options open. I'm like, oh, I always keep my options open. Come out to this event. I sat in the back, wasn't looking for anything. But I realized that what I was doing just wasn't getting me where I wanted to be long term. And that was kind of the bottom line, is I had been doing it for years, and I found myself kind of in the same spot that I was in 6 years ago. And so that's what at least made me open. I had a gentleman that told me, hey, if you want different results than everybody else, you can't do the same thing everybody else does. If you want to get different results, you have to do something different. So that made sense to me, and I got involved with this industry part-time just to generate some extra cash. And I'll share with you, my first goal in this industry wasn't to go out there and make millions of dollars. It was to make enough money to where no one could put their thumb on me and say I had to do something. I had to be somewhere. I didn't have to jump out of bed Monday morning and go race off to the grind again. It doesn't take millions of dollars to do that. For the most part, most of us, if you think about it, if you could just replace what you're currently making at your job without having to clock in for anyone, what would that do for your lifestyle right now? If you could just maintain your current standard of living without clocking in for a boss and just enjoy your freedom from that. That was it. And for me, it was like, I was like, my W-2 job was like $14,000 for the year, so I didn't take a whole lot to get freedom. How many guys are broke? Don't raise your hand. So I think about it. Here's what I realized. I read a book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, right? And it talks about how, in a lot of cases, financial freedom, that term, that was kind of a foreign term to me. I didn't know what financial freedom meant. Here's what it means, is basically where you have enough money coming in passively to maintain your standard of living without having to clock in. For the most part, it's easier for the janitor in most cases to get that freedom than it is for the doctor, because the doctor is making this huge six-figure income, and his bills usually are matching his income, versus somebody has a lower income, their bills are much less, so all he has to do is generate a couple thousand a month, and he has freedom. Whereas the doctor has to go generate $10,000 a month to get freedom. So for me, I was able to get it quickly, and that was priceless. Once I had got my first taste of actually having passive income coming in when I wasn't working, when no one else could tell me I had to do anything, I was hooked. I could never go back. That's what I'm excited for you guys to get, is to become unemployable. It's dangerous. So I want to dive into information, but here's really the point of today. I want you to understand is I want to teach you the rules of the game.